I am Marcus James Dixon with Gold Derby, and we are joined by Maryanne Oketch, the winner of Survivor 42. First of all, Maryanne, the season 45 finale was just a few weeks ago, and I just want to know your instant reactions to Dee winning, becoming the latest
Oh,
Survivor winner.
it was amazing. Like Dee played the game that I think a lot of us players wish that we played, dominant the whole time, winning immunities, having a great social game, physical game, lying, doing all these cool moves. Oh my goodness. Like I think Dee played wonderfully and fully deserved the win.
And speaking of lying, I don't remember you doing a lot of lying on your season. Did you you were mostly truthful for the most part?
I was mostly truthful, yeah. Not a lot of reasons to lie as well too, especially because for a big part of the season, people weren't giving me a lot of options, so I had to go with what I did. But the big Omer move had I think that was like a day of lying where I had to figure out everybody's thing, lie to Omer's face, lie to Lindsay's face, do damage control. And like for someone who has all the options like D, where it's A or B, that lying it really gets you. So like that's even a bigger testament. I think after that one day, I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
And it's been about a year and a half since your big victory. Um, Catch us up. What have you been up to? What are the biggest changes in your life since
Oh
Survivor?
my gosh, the biggest change is a year and a half. Well, I went to Arkansas to see Tori, which is like that was a state I never thought I'd have a reason to go to. Got engaged, so now I'm planning my wedding, which is hectic but fun. Oh my goodness.
Let's see
I'm
the
just like,
ring.
oh my goodness. You see, this is the bad thing. I always forget to wear it. So I can't show you the ring. And this
Okay.
is, I feel as if now I have to run back and get it. My fiance is going to be so annoyed at me because he looks at all these things. Um, what else have I done? Being a part of the Survivor alumni community has been amazing.
Mm.
Like, especially like being a fan of the show and then meeting people and they know who you are. It's the wildest thing ever. Like, I remember when I met Sandra and she yelled my name. Like, Queen Sandra Diaz-Twine knew who I was and yelled my name across from a parking lot. That was like, I think the peak, the peak. That was the peak.
I have to say she's one of my favorites of all time. And when I interviewed her, she goes, Marcus, that's my husband's name. That's a man's name. I'm like, okay, she approves of my name. I love it.
I love her. She's great. You can totally see why people didn't want to vote her. Why it was the anybody but me strategy worked so well. She's so funny, great, charismatic. Love that woman.
I wanted to bring up an interesting stat that in the first 40
Ooh.
seasons of Survivor, only
Mm-hmm.
15 seasons were won by women compared to
Mm-hmm.
25 by men. But now we have the new era. So starting with season 41, Erica won, the
Yep.
new one, and now we have Dee winning. So
Yep.
three of the five have been females. Do you think that the tide is turning? And what do you think about that?
Oh my goodness. I think that the reason why we're seeing more women winners is that we're seeing in general more diversity and respect for different gameplays and different people.
Mm.
Like I think that the players who are playing Survivor now respect different aspects of the game. So I think that a lot of times that people are really respecting social game more, which women like women Erica has killed the social game. People are respecting still that physical part of the game as well too, which is D. Like I think that the jury are instead of like coming into the final tribal being like this is what I expect for a winner, they're really coming being like I want to hear why you win and I'm really willing to weigh it, which is why we're seeing people being more willing to see like different types of winners as well too and more women winners.
And representation, that what you just
Mm-hmm.
mentioned is huge in the new era. I'm curious your thoughts on it. You're only the second Black female winner ever
Yes.
after Vesepia in
Yep.
season 4. So what does it mean to you? And do you hope little girls out there are watching you on your season and thinking, one day I can do this?
Like I am so excited about it. It's like I think Erica was the first Filipino winner. It's like I was the second Black woman winner. It's like I think Jam Jam was the second gay winner. It's like, and it's so exciting for me because as this is happening, there's going to be less chances for people to be trailblazers. Being a trailblazer
Yeah.
is an amazing thing. Being the first person of something is so wonderful. But to have that weight off your shoulder where it's like you don't have to be the first, you could just be like, yeah, I just won because I'm who I am. That's so exciting. Seeing that diversity, seeing D, a Latina winner, a Cuban winner was something which was even so amazing for me because I'm like, It's like for me, it's like I had that win in Vesepia. It's like other people had that win for me, but like now you're seeing more people of different communities that I'm not a part of that now have their person where you can be like, this is something which has happened. This is something which I can now also do. And it just really warms my heart. And I really, really hope that we are going to be seeing less and less firsts as the season
Mhm.
goes on. And the track that we're going for is really showing that that's what's going to happen.
Is there anything on your Survivor bucket list that you were not able to do during your season?
Yes, win
What?
an immunity challenge. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Every week, my friends and my family were like, this is the one she's going to win. And I had to sit down knowing that no, this was not the one she was going to win. This was not the one she was going to win. I really wanted Jeff to put that necklace on me, but
right.
just
You
was
wanted
not in the
that
cards for
moment.
me.
Yeah.
I did want that. I think everything else I managed to do, but just getting that immunity win was not able to do.
And you won with a vote of 7 out of the 8 votes. So it was
Yes.
almost unanimous. What do you
Yes.
think put you over the edge? What was your shining moment?
Oh my goodness, the shining moment. I think the thing that brought my final tribal all together was when I whipped out that idol. Like
Mhm.
I love drama rama. And like I think like a big reveal really can emphasize the point that you're trying to make. You really saw it with me with the idol being like, this is the secret that I held. Like and like so it really stated because like a lot of times people said that they didn't see my gameplay. So when I was speaking about it, it's like, okay, she's speaking about it, but is it true? But then when I showed the idol, I'm like, you see, this is like what I mean. I've been secret about things. It really then honed that fact where it's like, okay, so the things that she has been saying have been true because this is a secret she's been keeping. She's been hiding stuff intentionally so that we can go and like let her get to the end and win.
Dee had a similar moment in her finale when she turned to Austin and she's like, "Oh, by the way, you didn't know this part about me keeping a secret from you," and you could see his face like, "Oh no, I think she just won the game."
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a masterful move. Being able to keep Julie, then keep the secret that she kept Julie was like that perfect thing. You always want to have a secret arsenal in your like if you're able to go to final travel with a secret weapon that you can pull out, that is always the best move because it's like then you have that one up that other players when going to final travel can't even go and like try to equate against, you know, because you're speaking your thing, but you also want to elevate, okay, this is why I'm better than other people. And if they don't have that chance to catch up to be like, oh, here's this new information, what am I going to do with it? It can really help your case at final tribal.
I loved your personal story on the show, how you called yourself the weird kid growing up, and Survivor allowed you to be yourself. Can you talk about that aspect at all?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Like I think that growing up, I was a super weird kid, picked on as well too, but like there's always this balance when you're a weird kid, which a lot of people can resonate with, where you're like, okay, so do I need to fit in so I stop being picked at, or do I want to stay true to myself? And I decided I was going to stay true to myself, but that was a difficult thing to do because it's like I didn't see anyone who was weird and authentic on
Mm.
television. So being able to go on Survivor and still be my true authentic self and play the way that I want to play and like even be able to win. It's like I got so much support from people being like, I was a weird kid. And it's like being able to see you being so genuine meant so much to me. And I'm like, this is like the representation which I wanted as well too. Because of course, representation isn't just about race or ethnicity. It's about personalities. It's about backgrounds, socioeconomic statuses. Like so being able to be that for other people was such a big positive thing.
And obviously, you and Zach were the showmance that never was on Survivor. Do you two still keep in touch? I have a feeling you're friends. And
Oh, we
Zach's brother also was on Big Brother.
Big Brother, yeah. Oh my goodness, we are still very, very close friends. Like I was just chatting with Zach just a couple of days ago. Very, very good friendship. But I think it's very funny how like that was like the show match that never was. Then like now all the other seasons, 44 had Matt and Franny. Then you had Dee and Austin in 45. Like people, like, we're really bringing back show matches. They weren't there before, but now they're back, and I love it.
Yes, I love a good showmance. I mentioned Big Brother. Would you ever want to go on Big Brother, or what about some of these other shows, The Amazing
Oh
Race,
my
The Traitors?
goodness. Big Brother is a psychologically difficult game. Like you're play like it was 99 days. That's
Mm.
you enter when it's one season and you exit when it's another. That's like wild to me. So Oh my goodness, no. I would not do Big Brother. I do reindeer games though.
Yeah.
The Traders, I'm a big fan of brunch. So I would love to go on the Traders because they have a beautiful brunch spread. So that is would be so fun. I'm very food oriented. So I don't know why I went on Survivor. And Amazing Race would be very fun. Like just running around, getting to explore things. And Phil's a great host as well too.
Who would be your partner on The Amazing Race? Your fiance or someone from Survivor?
Oh my gosh. You see, I love my fiance, obviously. That's why I'm marrying him. But I think I'd have to go with Omer. Like we just really click. Like we just get each other, and that's what you need on the race. You know, you need someone who you can just click with, who you can just understand, be like, this is what they need me to do. This is what I want to do. And we just work in a way that I think would be really good on the race.
In the most recent Survivor season, started out with two quitters, and a lot of the fans were
Hmm.
upset about that. But I'm curious, as someone who's done it, did you ever feel like quitting? What was your lowest moment?
Oh my gosh. My lowest moment was it was after Tori went home. The tribal was super long and super heavy, and we get back to camp and it is pouring rain. So you're wet, you're miserable, you're emotionally exhausted, and you do not get sleep. I did not get sleep at all that night. I like you forget how it is to be warm. And I just remember being so miserable. And that is such a mental block to push through, especially like in those first days when if that's your experience the first days and you're like, I don't know if I will remember ever being warm again. And if you don't have the past experience knowing that you've pushed through it, it can be so difficult. Like I know Hannah said in her interview, she's like, I knew that I could push through it, but I didn't want to. And it's like having that experience of pushing through before really helped. So I really get it. Survivor is still hard. That's why you are seeing people quitting. But I also understand it on the fan perspective where it's like you might want something so much and someone gets that spot and they did something that you wouldn't do in that position. So I really do empathize with both sides.
I did like how Hannah and Sean quit at tribal council and then they did
Mm-hmm.
not go and vote someone else off. If they had
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, bye, and then Jeff said, okay, we're gonna also vote someone off, then I would have been like, no, 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 no. But I think just letting them go and
Yeah.
kind of ending the episodes at that point was the right move.
Oh my goodness, yes. That was the right move, especially because it's like it's so bad for morale. And especially in tribe formats when it's small tribes, if you lose two people,
Yeah.
that's like the tribe is being shot at the foot for no like for like a reason that's out of their control. So I really do like how it was done.
Yeah, and you mentioned the three tribe format, the smaller tribes. What do you think of that? I mean, I'm an old school Survivor fan. I love the two
Mm-hmm.
tribes, but I mean, I've heard pros and cons for both ways.
Oh my gosh. So there's nowhere to hide with three tribes. In my tribe, out of six, I was like in the alliance number four. And on a 10-person tribe, that's fine, right? But that meant that if I went to tribal, after we went to two tribals, I was gone, regardless of like whether I was a good player or not. So it's so like when Jeff says that there's nowhere to hide, it's like there's pros and cons for both. Another thing as well, the tribe swap in the first two seasons, there was no tribes. Well, the first three seasons, there's no tribe swaps in the new era. So
Hmm.
then, after someone like a player like Brando, who had such a good position, would have probably made it to merge. But now, with the tribe swap, he didn't because of the merge the swap that he had. So I think that in Survivor, regardless of two tribes versus three tribes, swaps versus no swap, it's always going to benefit one type of player and it's always going to negatively impact another type of player. And I think that's how the game is. So I think recognizing that the placement of what a player has doesn't mean that that was their potential. And I
Hmm.
think that's like something that like a lot of players struggle with or a lot of like viewers like struggle to understand.
And what did you think of the 90-minute format for season 45? I loved it personally.
Keep 90 minutes forever. Like it was I felt as if I knew every single person. I knew where every single person's head was at. And I felt as if like it wasn't just the strategy, which is a big part of the game, but we also saw so much camp life. Like I remember the scene when it's like they were all dancing with a stick bug and just like going back and forth. It's like you might not be able to have the economical time to watch that like in a 40 in a 1 hour episode. I think it was so good for Survivor. I think it should be something that should be kept on Survivor forever. And I also think that it helped us get more time for the opening credits, which is like the best part of the show. I love it.
I know. I loved seeing the credits return. Are you bummed you didn't get credits on your season?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm bummed, but the fans are so good. Like they always make like different opening credits based on the clips. So you still
Hmm.
get that little piece of it, which is great, but Oh my gosh, to see my face like on an opening credit would have been so exciting.
Do you have any advice for people out there on how to deal with online haters or negativity on the internet? How do you deal with it, and what advice would you have for especially younger people?
Oh my gosh, yes. I love like social media, you know? And it like was something that was so concerning as well too, because I remember like, going and chatting with my therapist and being like, I can't wait to read everything about me. And my therapist being like, okay, like what's going on? But I think the big focus is like know yourself and like put those security and those blocks on. Like for me, I'm just like, what are all the words which are triggers for me? And I basically screened it so that if that word, someone messaged me something with that word, I wouldn't even see it. There were some social medias where I'm like, I'm not going to go on it, but I'm going to get my friends to send me things. So they would filter things for me so that I could still get the joy of being on social media, but not any of the risks. And then also be aware of your mental space. If you are on social media, the moment that it stops feeling fun, like as the moment that you start feeling negative things, then you need to go and remove yourself from that situation. I don't think social media is a bad thing. I think it's a great tool where you're able to go and connect with other people but I think it's something that you have to be very aware about. And I think the biggest thing is like as soon as it starts feeling not fun, as soon as like you feel forced to be there, you're feeling negative feelings, you just need to take that step back.
Mm. And final question for you. I'm sure you've been asked a million times, but and it'll
Uh-huh.
be a million and one. If they ever do an all-star season, which I'm sure they will someday, or maybe even another all-winner season,
Uh-huh.
where are you in terms of you're either going to say 100% yes or 100% no or somewhere in the middle?
Oh my gosh. Like, not 100% yes, because there's always things that happen, you
Mhm.
know? But I lean more to the yes. Like, I think going back and playing again, being able to maybe get Jeff to put a necklace on my, like a muted necklace would be something that's so great, you know? Or maybe there's an auction now. The Survivor auction's back. I would love to do the Survivor auction. There's so many, like, there's just like Survivor's that thing where it's like your bucket list, you can write 100 things, and there's still that 101st that you'd want to do. And I think it's just such the joy of playing and the fun of playing and like in another place and pushing yourself to that limit. It's like there's no way that personally I could just be 100% no.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today, and maybe we'll chat with you again in the future for next season. Who knows?
Of course. Thank you.